is 0. When x equals b, then this is the definite integral from a to b, f of x dx, this area. Okay, the conclusion is that g is differentiable, and the g prime x equals the value of this integrand at upper limit. Of course, if we consider one-sided derivative, we can put an equality here. This is called the fundamental theorem of calculus part 1. Another expression is this function f integrate, then differentiate back to the original. Integrate, differentiate back to the original one. Okay. Why?哦，对了 ，dummy variable 我们中文一般叫做，因为 dummy 就是那种在卖衣服里面那种改那个木头假人嘛 ，dummy， 所以你可以把它翻译成傀儡的那个傀变数了，就像一个木头人的变数，呆呆的，没有什么都可以，傀变数，那你也可以写成呆变数也可以，反正 dummy 就是呆呆的。一个人呆呆的大名生下来。The first observation is that suppose f is the velocity of at time x, fx stands for the velocity at x. Okay. I use v, okay, v. This is the position when at time A, at time B. Okay. From A to B, the displacement is from A to, okay, from A to, for example, x, okay, from A to x. So the displacement is okay. Displacement. If we want to find the velocity, you already know this is s of x minus s of a. S of x minus s of a. So how to find the velocity at time x? Now, okay, so differentiate this with respect to t. Oh, now it's x. Because the SA is a constant. Now x is variable. At time t equals x, the displacement is s of x minus s of a. This displacement. This is a constant. So differentiate with respect to x, then we have s prime x, this is constant. And we use ddx. This is exactly the velocity x time x. So don't be fooled by this notation. Okay. Another observation from the geometric viewpoint. G prime x is okay. So if delta x or a is very large, delta x must be very small. X here, x plus delta x is here. So g of x plus delta x means the area from here to here. This area is the first term. G of x is the area from A to x. So the difference stands for this area. This area is almost delta x times this height. Yes, the value of f at x. This two area maybe has some error, but if delta x goes to 0, lowest part, the highest part to be the same number. So as you can see, g prime x equals this is delta A. But delta A almost base times height. Because x is fixed. So the rate of change equals base times height over the base is exactly the height. So as you can see, at here, for example, x1. G prime at x1 means this area, the rate of change with respect to x1. So the area of this rectangle divided by its base is exactly the height, because we already learned how to find an area of a rectangle. Base times height. But now we want to find the rate of change. Divided by base is exactly the height. So you can see that calculus is some generalization of what you have learned. Before we learn an area is base times height. Now the rate of change is this one divided by this height. Okay, here, the value of f is smaller. So the same delta x obtain the smaller delta a. Okay, so this is the fundamental theorem of calculus. And another way to express this is if f is continuous on some interval, then f has an antiderivative. For example, g. Antiderivative means we know this is the derivative of g. Derivative of g is f. That this is derivative of g. G is the antiderivative of f. Antiderivative of f, or indefinite integral of f. See, g prime equals f. Wow. F must be the derivative of some function. Continuous function is a derivative of some function. Is the derivative. Is the derivative of some function. Okay. This is part one. Okay. Next week, the first hour, we will introduce part two, and then we will review some problems may occur on the final exam, because the next week will be our new year, right? New year, January 2nd. Okay, so almost, yeah. Hope you are satisfied. What I have taught today. So amazing. The spirit of this one is what you have learned from elementary school. Delta A is base times height. Fundamental theorem of calculus means area divided by base equals height. 所以微积分基本定理是小学的面积推广。小学学矩形面是底乘以高，现在微积分基本定理呢 ，delta A 就是面积的增量除以这个底增量，就是高嘛，面积除以变成高就是微积分基本定理啊，对吧？所以说觉得好笑，微积分只是加个极限，但是这符号很棒，你只要了解这个意思，就会发现蛮好用。I mean, if you know some limit, then these notations are very good notations. They help you know a lot, help you know a lot. So, don't get lost in those notations. You have to know the meaning, the spirit, essence of Fabulous. Okay. Thanks. Bye bye.